So in your sewing packet, you should have a lining piece that's labeled, an interfacing piece that's labeled, and then 2 larger pieces of fabric to use for the body of your tote bag. You should have enough of either of those fabrics to choose which you want to be on the front of your tote bag and which you want to be on your side. I'm going to show you a little bit of an overhead view of how I'm going to lay out each piece of fabric and cut out the pattern pieces. I'm going to use this fruit fabric for the front of my bag and my straps. So I'm going to cut out pieces 16 and 14 out of the fruit fabric. And I want to use the fruit fabric for the front and back, so I'm going to cut out 2 of 14 and 2 of 16. So my fabric right now is folded in half, you can see, and the selvage edges are lined up so it's nice and straight. And I'm going to line up piece 14 so that the grain line is parallel. And I'm going to pin my pattern piece on. And then I'm going to also pin piece 16, which is the straps, and I'm also cutting out 2 of those. So I'm also keeping the fabric doubled. I'm going to pin that on, and then I will cut them out. So that's how the front and back and straps of your bag should be laid out on one of your pieces of fabric. So next I'm going to show you cutting out the contrast fabric. I'm going to use this striped fabric, and we're going to cut out piece 17 and piece 13. So the pocket and the side gusset. So the gusset you need to cut 2 of, so I have my fabric folded over again, and I'm going to line up the fabric like this, with the grain line perpendicular to the edge because I want my stripes to be going horizontally, but you could also lay it out like this if your fabric is up and down directional. So I'm gonna pin this right here and cut it out. And then we're also gonna cut out piece 13. You only need to cut 1, but I'm just gonna place it right here. And when I'm cutting it out, I'll just remember to only cut through 1 layer of fabric and cut out 1 piece of 13. So that is your contrast piece, and next we'll do the lining. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to lay out your pieces on your lining. Your lining should be labeled with a little label that says lining, because there should be a little bit more of the lining than of your other 2 fabrics. So I'm going to show you with piece 18, we're going to cut out 2, and of piece 17, we're going to cut out 2. And you can see my fabric is again folded in half. And I'm just going to lay these out with your grain lines, still important. So I'm going to pin those down. And then with your pocket pieces 13 and 19, you only need to cut out 1 of each, but there's plenty of room. This is doubled, but I'm just gonna lay it out here, but I'll only cut out 1 layer of each of those pocket pieces. Oops. So you should have plenty of all of your fabrics to cut out everything. Even there's extra fabric of other kinds if you want to make your pockets different fabric, or there might even be enough to make your side pieces out of different fabric. So you have a little bit of free reign to choose what you want your tote bag to look like, and there should even be enough if you make a couple little mistakes to recut out pocket pieces or other things like that. Okay, so that's the lining. All right, the last thing you're gonna cut out is the interfacing. My interfacing is black. Some of you have white interfacing. Doesn't matter what color it is. It'll be enclosed in your bag and you won't see it. So you're gonna cut out 2 of 18, 2 of 16, and 2 of 17. My interfacing is folded in half, so I only have to pin it on and cut it once. And I'm just trying to conserve the interfacing. Again, it's good to conserve your fabric in case you mess up or need to cut it out for some other project. It's good to keep as much left as you can. So that's how I'd lay out my interfacing with it folded in half and just cut around those pieces.